Do you ever listen to like those manifestation gurus, right? And one of the first things they always say about like money and abundance is that in order for you to manifest that thing, you actually have to be focused on it, right? You have to be willing to like ignore your reality, ignore the negative bank statements, ignore the debt. Like you have to be willing to ignore what you don't have yet. And that's how you're going to manifest, right? And the thing about that really pisses me the fuck off. I get it. Like I do believe that. Like I totally understand that. But at the same time, it's so hard because how am I supposed to exist in one reality but like focus on the one where I'm rich, like focus on the one where I have all the money I want, focus on the one where I get all the things that I want. Like it's hard. I'm going to tell you how I've been managing my mind over these last few years to manifest the abundance that have come into my life, because 100%, like they're right. Crazy as it sounds, like they are right. Like those manifestation gurus are right. When you focus on abundance, abundance does find you. But it's the focusing on abundant part that really gets me. And I know it's probably bugging you too. So we're going to figure that shit out in this video. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I've been doing to manifest more abundance in my life. Okay. Because like I said, it works, but you have to have this mindset in order for it to work for you. Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Juditha and I am your mindset coach. I am your dream life advocate. If you are currently trying to recreate your whole life, if you're trying to rewire your brain, get rid of all the things that created your current life because you want to create your dream life, then you are in the right place. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and let's get right into today's video. I used to be the type of person, like I would literally cry because of how frustrated I was about my financial situation. Like I remember in college, I have this one distinct memory where I was like at my boyfriend's house, his parents' house, and I was sitting on the edge of the bed and I was literally just like crying. Like I had my head in my hands and I was just like crying because I was so frustrated. I don't know, I think at that point I was kind of aware that there was a pattern in my family of like not being financially like literate and not knowing how to like actually manage money. Like I've watched my mom struggle and live paycheck to paycheck just about my whole life. I didn't have like the worst because it's not like I was like homeless or anything like that, thank God, because some way somehow like that lady, my mom, like she made it happen. Like I most of the time I didn't necessarily feel like I was going without, but there's definitely been times where I've literally seen my mom like scrape together the last few dollars in her wallet to like get us some food. On the same token, I've also like had my mom pay for like trips for me, pay for like a car for me. I think the belief that I was left with from my upbringing, from my childhood, from my teenage years was that money kind of goes just as fast as it comes, because my mom would get money. Like she always had a job. Those income tax checks, of course, they always came in handy, but it always felt like just as soon as she got money, like the money left, right? And that had more to do with like user error, right? But at the time, like I didn't know that. I even remember this moment in high school when me and my mom were driving somewhere. I want to say this was around when I was like 15 or maybe 14. I think I was 14, and I was looking for my first job and I was having the hardest time because I was so young. No one was willing to give me a chance and it was hard. And I remember crying in the car and just telling my mom, like, I want to be able to help you. Like, I want to make my own money. Like, I want to be able to contribute. And like, I'm just tired of seeing you struggle. And the funny thing about that is, like, the only reason I ended up getting my first job was because my mom actually, I went and I interviewed at this place called Crystal River Seafood. It was a restaurant, and I interviewed with the manager. I remember his name was Mike. Like, he was so nice, but I do remember him being hesitant to hire me because I had no experience like as a hostess, as at being in a restaurant, being anywhere. And I remember after the interview, actually, I didn't even know that my mom did this, but I found out later that my mom actually called him, and my mom was like, hey, like my daughter has been looking for a job for the longest, and I promise you, if you hire her, you would not regret it. Like, she will work, she will learn, like she can do this, like give her a chance, please give her a chance. And like he gave me a chance. Like they called me back, they hired me, and I had that job until I left to college. I say all that to say, like, I definitely had a poverty mindset. Like when I stepped into adulthood, you know, being 18, I remember the first check I made, it was so thick. Like to me, it was thick because, you know, I was in college, and up until that point, like I didn't have a lot of money. So I got that check, and I swear to you, like I kid you not, I can't even tell you where that money went. But all I know is by the next week, I was like, oh my God, where did it go? And it's not until years later when I became more conscious and aware of like energy and like my consciousness and poverty and lack mindset. Not until I learned about all that I realized I was repeating a pattern that I saw in my mom, and I didn't even notice it. Like, just as fast as the money would come in, I would spend it, even on an unconscious level. Like, I would spend it because my nervous system was programmed to believe that when money comes, like, it needs to go back out. So I was living by that belief, and I carried that with me for a long time. And even when I was aware of it, it was still a hard thing to break. And ironically enough, right, and this is how I know like God works in the most mysterious ways. Like, I have a lot of stories I'm going to tell in this video, but the first one I'm going to tell you is, like, ironically enough, the guy that I ended up dating in college, who is still my boyfriend now, we've been together for almost 10 years, his family is the complete opposite of mine. Like, they are the most abundant people. Like, when I got exposed to how his family works, like, his parents, they're both in really great careers. They have an amazing house that they bought, that they grew up in. Like, I didn't experience that. I moved around a lot, right? Even in high school, like, we moved around. So I just thought it was so ironic that God literally had me meet this guy who came from this family who, like, poverty, lack, none of that, like, that was never a part of their family. And I think it was by design that happened, because not only did it open up my mind to the fact that I could be abundant, but it just showed me a different way of living, a different way of thinking about money. Like, the way how I think about money was just completely different than the way my boyfriend did. And it's not even like he was like a spoiled brat or anything, because his parents very much still made them work, right? Still instilled very good like characteristics in them. But I just got to see a different way of living, and being exposed to that stability, it definitely helped. And it still helps me, like, till this day, like, watching his family, how they are, it still helps me to like open my mind and to be more abundant and to think more abundantly. I feel like that was one of the ways God was telling me that what I have and what I see, like, there's more to life than that. Like, I definitely can see how, like, even before I made God a priority in my life, I've always been a priority to him. And I know that sounds like so, like, I don't even know, corny, whatever, but I'm just having this realization now. So I'm just like, damn, like, I didn't even have that close of relationship with God back then that I do now. And I don't know, it's just so crazy to think about how, like, your life is just the little things that happen in your life. Like, you might not get it like in the moment, but later on, like, it all just starts to make sense. But anyways, the main point here is that I switched my mindset. I started to think more abundantly, and as a result, more abundance came. So let me tell you exactly what I did. The first step to me growing out of my lack mindset was I had to think more logically and less emotionally, because that's the thing with a lot of us. We are so emotional about our financial situation. Like I told you, I used to break down, but you have to take your emotions out of it, and you have to get very logical about it. And one of the things that I did, I would journal about like my financial situation a lot. And I'll actually insert one of my journal entries like somewhere here on the screen, because I want to show you guys how logical I tried to be. I wanted to break down my thoughts in a way that felt more logical. So I would ask myself, like, what are you doing to make more money? Like, what are you doing to get yourself out of this situation? And then I would ask myself, so I would ask myself that, and then I would make a list of all the things that I was already doing. And then I would make another list, right? And that list would be all of the things that I could do. And then I would make another list, and that list would be all of the things that I could do, but that I don't want to do, right? Because to me, it was all about becoming very aware that the power was in my hands, and just becoming very aware that there's so many options, even options of things that I could do that I'm just not willing to do because of my comfort zone, or because I didn't have the knowledge, or whatever the case may be. But I tried to be very, very logical, and that helped me. So that's the first thing I would tell you to do. Try to take your emotions out of it and become more logical about your situation, y'all. And all I was doing at this point was I was trying to be more intentional about what I focused on. You'll be surprised of how much support you receive. Like, it'll feel miraculous, right? It'll even come from other people around you. Let me tell you a story. I woke up one day and there was a deposit in my bank account for a job that I had not worked in years. Like, remember that job I just told y'all about that I worked in high school? This was probably, oh my God, I don't even know, maybe 4 years after that, I got a deposit from that job as if I still worked there. Like, I have no idea where that came from. It just showed me that, like, just the fact that I was being intentional about changing my mindset, I feel like the universe was telling me, like, kind of like feeding me breadcrumbs to show me that I'm headed in the right direction. And that was one of the ways. Like, it was random. You don't have to be perfect at it. You don't have to completely dismantle your scarcity mindset to be blessed with abundance. You just have to set the intention that you want to be abundant, and then take some of your emotions out of it and try to be very logical about what you can do to get out of your situation. And you have to do your part and trust that God is going to do his. And your part in this is to simply watch where your attention is going. Focus on what you have rather than what you don't have. Focus on the abundance that's already around you, right? Do you have people that are supporting you? Do you have parents who are living you live with them? Do you have friends who are willing to lend you money when you really, really need it? Like, are you able to eat today? Focus on what you already have access to, because when you focus on that, that tends to grow. And something else that I want to note is that luck has nothing to do with it. It's not about I'm not luckier than you. It's not about the people that you see living the life that you want to live. They're not luckier than you. They just focus differently. They just have a different mindset. So the same way that I manifested these things in my life and these people in my life that not only showed me what abundance is, but they're also very, very generous with me. I manifested that because I focused on what I had. I focused on the possibility that I could have more. I focused on the possibility that money isn't what it means to be abundant. Having an abundant mindset more so just means that you don't see lack as much, right? You don't see limitations as much, right? You see possibility. And not only that, but to be generous, right? To receive, you also have to give. So even when it comes to your own money, like you have to be generous. Like when you're tipping people, like tip, like not saying you have to give more than what you got, but like tip people. If you're the type of person that doesn't tip well, like start to tip more, because just like energy has to be circulated. And you've probably heard this before, but like money is just energy. And in the same way that energy needs to be circulated, money needs to be circulated. So you have to give so that you get more. And this is something that I know it sounds crazy because you're like, okay, but I'm trying to save. And that's good. Like still save your money. But if there's any causes that you want to donate to, like donate to them. When you order Uber Eats and you see that old lady come deliver your food, like make sure you tip her. Okay. Like that's all I'm saying is in those little moments, like be generous, even if you just give $1 more. And this is advice that I even have to remind myself as well, being that I have that mindset, or I'm growing out of that mindset that, just as fast as money comes, it goes. Like that's my main thing that I'm growing away from. Sometimes I want to hold on to my money and I just want to save it all. So this is something that I even have to remind myself. I just want you to remember, like, if you want to see like miracles, if you want to see what God can do for you, start to believe in the abundance that's already there. I know you can't see it yet, but just like this air that you're breathing, how you can't see it, but you know it's there, right? You know you're breathing. Just like how the sun is going to go down tonight and you know for a fact it's going to rise again tomorrow. Like you have to have that type of faith and that type of inner knowing that the abundance is there. You just can't see it yet. But I promise you, if you change the lens that you're looking out at the world, like if you change that lens, then the world around you will change. And not like physically change. I mean, it might, but sometimes the abundance that you're looking for is already there. The people who want to support you, they're already there, but they cannot come in contact with your lack energy. They cannot come in contact with your poverty mindset. You don't have to be perfect at this. You don't have to wake up tomorrow feeling rich or lying to yourself about how rich you're going to be if you don't believe it. But try to find what can you believe? Try to find that. Like, can you believe that if you give it a chance, abundance could appear in your life? Can you believe that whatever situation you're in now that feels impossible to get out of, eventually you will find a way? Can you believe that if you do your part, God will always do his? Because if you can believe that, I promise you, it'll be a matter of days, weeks, maybe months, depends on how ingrained those beliefs are in you. But it's just a matter of time before you start to receive the abundance that's already available to you, right? It's your birthright. It's like a faucet. It's running. You just have to stop cutting the flow off. As annoying as those manifestation gurus are, they might be onto something. That is it for today. I hope this was helpful. I hope you grew. I hope you learned something. Leave a comment and make sure you don't forget to subscribe. Before I go, for the ladies that are wanting to literally recreate their life, you're wanting to rewire your mindset, you're wanting to get rid of this poverty mindset, I am creating a community. It's called REWIRE, where we are literally focused on rewiring your brain. We are focused on getting to the bottom of those limiting beliefs. And by the end of this, like, it's going to be a course and a community, but by the end of the course, you are going to know exactly how to receive abundance. Like, not only are you going to know how, you are going to be a more abundant person. So if you're interested in joining my community, it's still in the works. However, I do have a wait list. So if you want to get on the wait list, just comment below waitlist. I will put your name on the list. Okay, I'll see you guys on the next one.